Hi, everybody. My name's Honish. I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I'm not wired like the rest of you. For the last 30 plus years, I have worked in distressed properties. Tonight, I'm going to show you 20 indicators of the bubble that we're in. I don't know if you're on the call for me to help you make up your mind, for you making a market decision on a better way to get listings. I don't know in general. I don't know what it will take for people to understand the direction. I was around for the last bubble that most of us are aware of in 2006. And prior to the collapse, this is exactly the same situation. A handful of people were screaming it, everybody else was ignoring it, and then it just happened. So I'm going to show you the indicators individually, and I'm going to show you some bonus stuff where you can look at things in your individual market. And I'm actually going to show you a market today, right, that is already starting to collapse. I'm going to show you the first one that's showing substantial price depreciation, if you can believe that. So there's a lot to cover in this first section. For those of you who don't know me, because there are those people, hello, my name is Honish, and I am the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. I started in 1988. By the age of 21, I had already thrown out my first 100 families. And if you're wondering if that has deep lasting psychological scars, haha, ladies, I'm still single. What a shocker. Yeah, it's true. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? I have been born and bred to do everything I'm talking about, and I can't get away with it. I can't get away from it. I've tried, and every time I get away from this market, it brings me back in. Somebody asked me to do this company that I'm currently doing, and I'm back here again teaching people. I've also been a national speaker from 2007 to 2010. I taught real estate agents everything they know about short sales. All the letter designation programs are based on my educational process. They are the ones that you are all familiar with. There are many people on these calls that know me from Short Sale Genius. And even prior to Short Sale Genius, I think I spoke to literally tens of thousands of real estate agents while I was still working at IndyMac Bank with their blessing. So I did that for quite a while. And after 3 years, I had millions of views. I had tens of thousands of people that I had trained. I was doing 3 to 5 live presentations every single week. And I expect to do that again here shortly. I'm not shying away from it. COVID's made it a little more interesting, and webinars are a little more interesting, but we'll see how it goes. In 2010, I opened my own company. I became a private consultant, and I created marketing. Some of you are aware of it. I'm sure Donna's aware of it. Many of there are some people on this call that are aware of it. I created a product that was designed specifically to go after distressed property. It was the first, and it still is the only permission-based marketing piece in real estate designed specifically to get you face-to-face guaranteed. And we actually guarantee those results. We've been guaranteeing those results for the last 11 years. And what's really exciting about it, that particular marketing and my experience in marketing, because I spent literally a decade learning everything about marketing, specifically for real estate, because, well, after all, I'm a bank problem solver. I became one of the top marketers in America for over a decade and named one of the most innovative. But to understand how I got there and how I wound up in a bank, understand that I'm actually a very shy, withdrawn person. The bravado you see here is because I just know one thing. I know a couple of things very well. I am actually a very horrible student in general. I laugh and joke all the time. I am a banker who does not do math. I once got an F on a test in the 4th grade, and I'm still talking about it every time I do a presentation. I'm also extraordinarily dyslexic, even to this day, depends how tired I am. So I struggle for every book that I go through and read. And on top of it, I spent 4 or 5 straight years of being bullied into the first year or so of high school. And the reason I tell you all of that, I am no different than anyone on this call. I have my challenges, I have my hurdles, and I have, I even escaped the 9 to 5 life, right? I became a developer. I became an investor. I became a realtor, just like all of you. I went back to the bank because it's comfortable to me. And I became the head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank at a time when the world was melting. And I left again and I started my own company. And I have spoken literally around the world. I've trained tens of thousands of people, but more importantly, I've helped millions of people. I've overcome my personal dilemmas to be able to help others achieve their goals, just like all of you on this call. And it's the reason I'm doing it live. It really is 8/12 or 6/12 on October 7th. Okay, I realize people do these on stupid little feeders on Webinar Jam and they just keep cranking bodies through. I don't like it. You can't ask questions. It's not for real. It's not what I would want if I were on the call. I am just like all of you. Understand, we're all the same. 95% of us all suffer from the same problem, and that's the fear of being able to provide. That's reality. Okay, I have an it, I have a why, and I'm afraid that I'm not able to provide for it. Tonight, I am going to show you how to help people that are in tremendous, tremendous stressful situations. All of you on this call do what you do because you have a fear of being able to provide. This is the number one fear of all people, right? So I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you what the market's going to do. I'm going to show you how to get listings in a market where it is desperately hard to get listings. And I will prove all my work and I will show all my numbers and I will give you lots of free stuff and I will give you all links. So let's talk about this bubble and get it over with so I can get to how you can reach people that have already missed payments, because the wave has already happened. I will be happy to prove it up here in just a brief moment and actually show you on Realty Track. You can see it rolling in from the East Coast. I will show you Realtor.com. I will show you Boise, Idaho, where the days on market are going up and the prices are coming down and the inventory is going up. It is the first market. So for those of you who don't know anything, let's cover the 10 things you should be tracking. I don't have some kind of slick reveal here. They're all up on the screen. If you want to start writing them down, I will explain each one. Number one, the eviction moratorium's over, period. End of sentence. That link I just gave you, okay? Let me get it up on the screen for you. That's this page on my Home Advocates website. That is our personal website, right? Down here, there is a state-by-state numbers link. If you click it, the first one will give you how many people are delinquent in your state individually. The second one is evictions, the eviction moratorium state by state. And this is the most interesting one of them all. I get this a lot and I get it every single day. Oh, the government is not evicting people. You can go and scroll through this for your state and you can see whether or not there's any protection whatsoever. Okay, I provided both of those links on that page for all of you. And it will tell you exactly what's going on and the programs that are available. There you go. At least you're genuine. Thank you, Donna. I don't know. I'm still, I've picked a very rocky life for myself. All right. The moratorium's over. Let's all stop it. Number 9. Let's go backwards. There we go. Number 9, 1.6 million forbearances. By a show of hands, I can't really see hands, but by a show of hands, how many of you think these are not delinquent properties? I mean, I was having this talk with my own coaching group today. I'm looking down here. Go ahead and type it in the chat. I'd be really interested. Is there anybody that thinks a forbearance is not a defaulted property? Anyone? It's okay. I'm not singling you out if you believe it. The reason I point this out, and maybe I'm teaching some of you some very interesting stuff. There's 1.6 million forbearances. Nobody's disputing that number. Those are defaulted properties. Got it? You don't get a forbearance for positive reasons. You don't go to a bank and go, hey, I need a forbearance because I can't pay. I think the word in there is can't pay. So that day ended. September 30th, you had to pay back your forbearance, right? And if you don't, starting this month, they're going to start reporting what you owe onto your credit, which will take us down to number 3 shortly. Does everybody understand? that the minimum number of defaulted people that are about to hit the market is 1.6 million. Anybody want to dispute that? Because it's actually going to be more. Good information, right, Carlos? This is such a BS thing. Like forbearances were a great thing. Let me tell you, as a banker, forbearances are not a good thing. It's going to show that you owe $30,000 on your credit, and it's going to take about 250 FICO points with it once they start reporting it again. But we'll get to that in a minute. Number 8, the 7.5 million unemployment checks ended. Now, I can't tell you the long term, and I can't tell you if it's just people who were collecting checks who didn't really want to work in the first place, right? We can get into a big, long debate about all of that. It's certainly not a good thing. It's certainly not a good thing, right? So we're a few weeks past the unemployment check. So I figure it'll be about 30 days. Here's another number that I don't have on either slide. Do you know that we have the highest default rate on cars that we've had in the nation's history at this moment? Anyone know that one? Yeah, this goes back for about 5 years. We had a high default rate on cars, and it's been going up over the last 5 years. And guess what? We're at a crescendo point. You think they're going to start repossessing cars? I don't even know how that would work if that actually happened. I'm not in that line of work, but I'm telling you, car loans are crap, and they may be the things that actually cripple banks. There you go. I feel like you need one of those NBC, the more you know, kind of jingles shitting across the screen. Maybe when I redub this, I'll have it scream across the screen at this moment. But that's reality. That's what's happening. And nobody's getting free money anymore. And the jobs report is still due out shortly, so we'll see how it goes. Anybody going to disagree that the interest rates are way too low? I mean, let's be honest, 3, and they moved it up to 3.1, and it's already had effects on whether or not people are interested in buying. I mean, I don't, just get it over with. Move it to 3.5, bring prices back down, start calming down inventory. I don't know what the delay is other than trying to squeeze the most equity out of property because everybody sees the bigger picture, that values are way too high, number 6, and that it's all going to come crashing back down to earth. Okay. The amount people make at their jobs is not equivalent to what they can pay for these properties. The math doesn't add up. It's a simple equation. Everybody got it? Renter evictions, number 5, those are going to start gearing up. So they started submitting. We'll start physically having evictions here in the next 30 to 60 days. I've heard as many as, I don't know, 6-7 million people. I mean, it seems really inflated. Let me give you a pro tip right here. Why wouldn't you start looking for 2 to 4 unit owner occupied multi-unit dwellings in your area? I'm telling you, they're going to be a hot commodity, and I'm telling you, those investors are going to want to start selling their houses. Either they're going to want to evict people and sell them, or people have gotten through it and they're going to want to sell them, and it's about time to start talking to them. And once these renter evictions start, here's another pro tip on renter evictions. Anybody else know we're at the highest point of rents, right? So now rents are way too high, matching the values that are way too high, because people, which gets us to our next one, consumer confidence, people think we're in a bubble. 70% of the population thinks we're in a bubble, right? Biden's approval level is down to 38%, right? It's because of these things. The shit is hitting the fan, forgive my French. It doesn't take a banker to lay this out for all of you, but the reality is these things are happening in real time. We're not years away from this. We're not 6 months away. People, when this originally started, and I was originally going out on the road, and I was originally talking about this 4 months ago, I said there would not be a crash. I said there would be a depreciation or a correction to the market. These issues keep compounding the damn problems, right? And we keep accelerating the value. So people don't want to buy because the prices are too high. We don't have a lot of inventory because people are scared and don't want to sell. I mean, go take a look at Miami's numbers. It's just because of a lack of inventory, right? You can Google these things. These are all real simple. People are wise to it, so they move over to renting. Well, now rents have gone through the roof. Remarkable. And Biden is standing there going, oh, we got to do something, right? And now we'll talk about it on the next slide, right? He's fighting with the everything bubble. Yeah, I sounded like me in 2007 and here again in 2021. It's all the same again. Number 3, FICO reporting. If you were making your payments, good for you. You were the only one who was making your payments. FICO hasn't been reporting crap to credit, like they turned it off. And if you're asking me how they did that, I have no idea. At one point, the federal government, I can't even make this one up, the federal government wanted to regulate the FICO system. They tried to sneak that one in. Actually, I think it was the Chicago Tribune or one of those, the Wall Street Journal. Somebody caught it and saw it, but man, they tried. They tried because they're afraid of what's going to happen when they start reporting to credit. 1.6, okay, let me tell you what's going to go on people's credit. 1.6 million forbearance agreements are going on people's credits, so they can't borrow more money, which is why banks are talking about creating their own internal system because they think FICO is going to get screwed with by the federal government. That's bad. Number 2, 7.5 million people who get evicted are going to have that put on their credit. So you're approximately looking at somewhere between, depending on what numbers you want to believe, let's just go with a low end, 8 million to possibly about 10 million people getting negative things on their credit. And let's not even discuss the literal millions and millions and millions and millions of people who weren't making auto payments during the pandemic and still aren't. Oh, it's a complete crap show. Let's be honest, it's a shit show. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. Number 2, foreclosure report and filings has increased. Yes, we're up 20%. So what you can do is go on Property Radar or Realty Track, pull your individual market and look at your individual notice of defaults, notice of sales, quote unquote pre-foreclosure. And we'll talk about that right here. 31 days at 5 p.m. you're in default. Okay. I don't care what some of you have ideas of what you think the terminology is. I'm going to teach you some bank lingo. 31 days at 5 p.m. you're 30 days late. You are actively in default and you are actively in foreclosure. Got it? There's no other terminology that you need to know. You are in pre-foreclosure. Now, the only data you or I as a public citizen can get our hands on is when it goes to process, right? Notice of default for some of you, it's list pendants depending on your state, or they put an auction date or they put a sale date. And those dates mean absolutely nothing because people are too afraid to actually foreclose, right? So that backlog's got to happen before they actually pull the trigger on that whole problem. It's a problem. And it's all backing up and it's creating a bigger and bigger bubble, which is going to create a bigger and bigger pop. Got it? All right. So you can take whatever NODs or notice of sales or auction dates and list pendencies are in your particular market and look at that number. And that number is 30% of your market right now. We're at about 30%. They're reporting somewhere between 20 and 30%. But if you go on Realty Track and buy their or purchase their free 7-day trial, look at the United States, pull it all the way back. Look at the East Coast rolling out to the West Coast. You can see the reporting on the East Coast is much higher than the West Coast. It's happening. Number 1, the government failed to fix it. Do we want to go over the $46 billion that didn't make it into the hands of renters? I mean, mortgage people were, forgive me, because somebody will always correct me. I use mortgage as a basic derogatory term in regards to trust deeds, deed of trust, whatever it is your state does, whatever Wiccan magic, okay? In the banking world, we just call them mortgages, even though most of them, 99% of them, are not, okay? We still call them mortgages in a bank. We always have. We always have. So they failed to get that money out, right? And that money was only going to households that made less than $99,999. So if you're a normal person who got laid off and your household made $100,000 even as a collective, you were not eligible for assistance of any kind. I'm not eligible for checks from the state of California because I make too much money. Everybody else who's not working down here in San Diego, who's walking around free-spirited, is getting checks from the state of California because they make less than me, if that makes any sense. There you go. Are there any question about this particular set of 10 before I do your bonus 10 real quick? Anybody on this section? Carlos says no. Anybody? I got the question bar up. I will look and see if there's any questions real quickly. Again, I'll put the link out for everybody. If you didn't see it earlier, you can go over to that page. No, great stuff. Thank you. You're welcome, Melissa. Let me see. We got about 21 people here. That's awesome. That's about what I expected this evening. So cool. Everybody good? Ready for the next section? You ready for your bonus round? The stuff that, so this is stuff I know. Okay, let me explain how I operate. I have an extremely high IQ. I tend to ignore that, but it means that I'm a very good problem solver. I'm very good at statistics, kind of Rain Man-like. I can see trends, and that's why I get hired by banks. I've been a retained asset manager. I have degrees in marketing, in psychology, and business, and none of it has prepared me for half the crap that I've had to do as an entrepreneur running my own, real estate marketing and coaching programs. None of it. You guys were just completely different, and you just blew my socks off, and I've kind of learned on the fly. So I am talking to you in what may seem very basic terms, but I do this for my own coaching group. Okay. We just did a coaching call today where I said, if I say the word forbearance, what do you say? If you meet somebody who goes, oh, I'm good, I got a forbearance. And we did it on a coaching call today, and they go, they're in default. Good. I'm hammering these points home. There are a lot of people who have bad information. My goal is to help 1 million people. I need these webinars, whether or not anybody signs up and joins me for marketing and coaching. That's not the point. I want you leaving this webinar better. What you're looking at on the screen one last time are things I know. Got it? Now let's go to things I think, and they scare the crap out of me. These are the 10 more weird ones that worry me. Evergrande, depends on the community. Irvine, for example, shows no buying hesitancy last 2 days. Yeah, Terry, as I said, real estate's market to market, right? I'm in San Diego. So we're at an even plateau, but here's a fun fact. San Diego is the highest days on market, right? And our higher end properties are coming back down. I would also tell you, because I'm here and I do know Orange County, you really want to look at the high end properties and see what they're doing and keeping an eye on those specifically. That'll be your first economic indicators. But yeah, your market specifically will be different. And Irvine is different than Santa Ana. And Irvine is different than Allied Gardens, right? And San Diego is different than Escondido. And what I'm saying is, if you're just going to work in Irvine, Terry, cool. I'm just telling you, when 1.6 million people go into default, this is my point, Terry. Do you have a good source for getting listings? This whole thing is about getting listings at the end of the day. Okay, you want to know what this webinar is about? It's about going and doing listings. Yeah, I'm from San Gabriel Valley too. I actually grew up in Montebello. Carlos, fun fact. I grew up in East LA. So Terry, I'm giving you a source to probably my lowest estimation, God's honest truth. My lowest estimation, think at least 1 million people that are going to have to sell their house. Do you know 1 million people that want to sell their house? And I'll break it down. I know this right now for San Diego County specifically, right? They're only showing 4,000 people plus or minus for the entire county of San Diego, right? So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to go, well, that's actually should be more like 24 to 30,000 people who are actively in default that have a notice of default and notice of sale. And here's another fun fact for all of you guys. Why don't you go pull NODs specifically in Irvine? Because I know this I have an agent that's in Orange County. Go pull notice of defaults and then go on the MLS and find out that people who have notice of defaults and notice of sales right now are selling. They're not trying to get loan mods. They're not trying to negotiate with the bank. They're actually selling. They are a source of listings right now. This isn't happening tomorrow. These are real things. I have coaching students already with boots on the ground. They are encountering defaulted properties with for sale signs on them, which means you guys are late to the game, technically, at this moment. I mean, and I'm going to say it to every webinar and every live room I do. You're behind the game. Got it? Obviously, these people are already doing it. Right. There you go, Terry. I'm trying to tell you. I'm being very bankery. I'm trying to be better. I've had a very bad week. All right. Let me give you 10 bonus ones that you guys should keep an eye on. Number 10, Evergrande. If Evergrande collapses, I don't know what real estate looks like. And if you don't know what Evergrande is, I could probably do a full hour on China's largest buying real estate group on the planet using fake, phony, baloney printed China money. And they're in like a recession kind of weird thing that we got going to, where they're just printing money, and it's a real problem. And Evergrande is going belly up, and they do have quite a bit of interest around the world, including our own country. You might want to keep an eye on that, and that bankruptcy might have an impact. Number 9, jobs report and income from jobs. That's coming up here. You might want to keep an eye on that. If people aren't working and people aren't making enough for, let's just say for you, Terry, for Irvine, how will they buy houses? Millennials are the number one group that's already said, peace out, we're not into the market. They are the highest number of people that are just trying to rent, and they're the crazy people that drove the rent prices up. They are the number one renters right now as well. Number 8, the supply chain shortage. That's going to be a problem. Because we have less supplies, the prices are going up. People aren't paying for their cars. They won't be able to pay for their homes. A gallon of milk is 20 to 40% higher than what it should be. The numbers are being tweaked. There are enough videos out there that I don't have to do it. I think this has an impact on, when I tell you stuff, when I give you information, because these are the things I track. At the end of the day, it's the dollar they have to pay on the house. So to get to Terry's point of a good source to tap, right? The important thing is we've got to look at how many people are not going to be able to pay, and how do I help them with what we call a dignified solution. And at the end of the day, there are only 9 things they can do once they miss a payment. And I'm telling you, 66% of them are not the outcomes, right? There are only 3 outcomes pretty much they all take. Sell the house, loan mod the house, right? I would have said forbearance up until this whole thing, but loan mod the house, or let the bank foreclose. They do nothing, which is even more shocking. So you have to look at all of these things in general. But they are the things that I watch, and you can keep an eye on the news for all of these. Number 7, Michael Burry, the guy who predicted the last short sale market, the last market collapse, is freaking out and betting against the Fed and this whole $0 buyback. He's literally betting against, he's saying the entire economy will collapse because of the Fed's 0 interest rate. He's a much smarter kind of Rain Man statistician than me, and I've read almost everything he's ever put out. He is a brilliant, brilliant man who sees numbers in a totally different way. That is him, Terry. The Big Short guy is saying the entire economy is going to collapse. Not it's a bubble like 2007, like it will make 2007 look small. He's already betting against the bond market. He's betting, just like in The Big Short, against the bond market. Let me help you out. If he's right, which I actually pray he's wrong, okay, it is an everything bubble, and we're screwed because it would be hyperinflation. We're screwed. We're screwed. Like, you got to convert right now. If you want to stay in real estate, you want to do listings, right? Anybody can get a buyer. I have investors, okay? I don't need buyers. I need listings. I need deals. If you're an investor or you're a real estate agent, the deal's the deal, okay? I've been doing this for 30 plus years. The deal's the deal. And let me tell you, every day I take at least 5 phone calls from people who will buy anything that any of my students can get their hands on. And I already have an iBuyer program. Yeah, hyperinflation. Number 5, where'd the news reporting go? Did you guys remember when they made a big deal about everybody being evicted? And that was before the moratorium was over, and now the moratorium's over and they're not reporting it anymore. That one to me is kind of the more interesting one. Let me see where we are on time. Number 4, if it wasn't so bad, why aren't the banks actually lending money? Why aren't Wells, Chase, B of A, US Bank, why aren't tier 1 banks making loans, car loans, credit line loans, equity loans? I mean, you got to have sterling credit. Equity loans were the first to go, but you guys all saw that. Wells was the first to do it, and everybody thought Wells was stupid. And now all the other banks have started to follow. And let's go with number 3. If the market wasn't so bad, why are the banks being so silent? If I was Jamie Dimon and I was sitting with the president, I would go, oh, it's so robust, Mr. President. Our portfolio's performing. By the way, go watch what he says. Anything that happens to this market will be catastrophic. He doesn't say, hey, we've got a lot of great performing loans and this is going to set us backwards. That's not what he says. This is yesterday sitting with the president with the whole world watching. He's like, no, we're in a delicate game right now and the whole thing could crumble. Right. I completely agree. Zero interest rate. I said it before, I'll say it again. You can't have the zero interest rate and they're not going to go to negative. Number 1, the government, everything bubble. They still haven't voted on it. They still haven't passed it. And October 16th is right around the corner. These people are playing Russian roulette with some crazy ass stuff. And printing $1 trillion coin seems to be the craziest thing I've heard in 30 plus years of macroeconomics ever. Anybody have any questions on these before I explain my solution? Need to talk to you about 2 listings I have coming on soon. Yeah, of course, Katrina. Send me an email. Same email. You guys ready? I'm going to show you my stuff. Okay. I'm going to show Terry how I plumb. Would you like to see how I plumb? Would you like to see my marketing pieces, Terry? So here's what I'm going to try to do in the next 20 minutes. I'm going to show you how we market. I'm going to show you my marketing pieces. I'm going to show you stuff from my laboratory that I just got back today from my Fiverr designer for automated appointments. Like, it's so mind-blowing that we're taking it to that level, but it's I'm having a digital marketing piece create. It's not a digital marketing piece. It's actually, you'll see it in a minute. It's still in an early phase. We're going to test it next week. I'm going to show you the stuff that we use on a daily basis, and then I'm going to show you our scripts. Just to prove to you, you guys don't need to know everything about the market. You need to know 2 scripts to get a listing. You don't need to be me. I keep telling everybody, people want trust and like. They don't want to know it all asshole like me. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. My students love having me in their back pocket. They love having me get on 3-way conversations. I was just on a 3-way conversation delivering bad news about a deal. That's what I'm here for. Okay, for all of the people that I work with. But I'm going to show you the 2 scripts you need to learn. And you guys, as I said before, you can go over and this is your opportunity. No, that's not it. That's our old price, or well, our listed price. Where are you? Where did you go? I didn't lose it, did I? Oh, it's right here. It was right there. Let's try it this way. Why is this not going over here? And that's when the wheels came off the wagon. There it is. What the hell just happened? Okay. So right here, you can download today's PowerPoint, but right below it, you can download some marketing pieces. And what we're going to talk about specifically is Ask the Banker, right? I even gave you a couple of templates for my own personal marketing pieces, our mastermind PowerPoint, a white label book. So you guys actually get something for showing up. Now, that's just fun stuff so you guys have it. And again, don't forget the links to the actual market data back here for state-by-state evictions and state-by-state actual delinquencies, right? You're welcome, Melissa. All right, so now I'm going to show you some real deep cut stuff, right? Some real bonus stuff here for the last 20 minutes of this call. All right. let's move into it, shall we? Slideshow. Why aren't you running from the slide? But hey, whatever. That should have already, I don't even know why it died. From current slide. There we go. All right. Okay. That's because that's an old presentation. How do you have two presentations up? Well, whatever the case. Let's skip forward. Wow. Like I said, it's been that day. All right. This is my it and my why. For those of you that have known me for a long time, she was a little tiny thing when I was out speaking on the road. This is the reason I get up and I do what I do every day. It's the reason that I try to help you guys as much as I do every single day. I make the blindest son. I'm a divorced single dad, and my daughter, who is now driving and going to college, is the reason in 2010, I took it really seriously when I became an entrepreneur. And I created something called Monster Marketing. A lot of people know what it is. It's been around for 11 years. I'm actually going to show you how it works. We used to never show the marketing pieces on any of these calls. I'm actually going to show you the marketing pieces today. So you guys can see how all of my behind the scenes of Monster Marketing, it got me named one of the most innovative marketers in America. It's positioned me as a distressed property expert. It targets, it's permission-based. You never have to meet the homeowner until you actually physically have an appointment. I'm actually going to show you how it works. I'm going to show you what our appointments look like. And then I'm going to show you something straight up from the lab that I just added today because I'm creating 3 new marketing approaches just for the coming market. What you're looking at is the behind the scenes of homeadvocates.academy. This is our coaching and marketing page. So I want to be as transparent as possible. For those of you that are on the call that are thinking of investing in our program, I'm going to show you exactly what it is and how it works. You get me. That's number 1. Number 2, you get 3 coaching calls, which I think are really most important. These are the 3 things that matter. The first one is the home marketing system. That is a training platform that will teach you about the hub. The hub is actually exactly what it sounds like. That's where everything is. And I'm going to show you what's inside of them. And to go back to Carlos's point, I'm going to show you marketing pieces. I'm going to show you scripts. I'm going to show you everything. And the other is our community. This is where you can ask questions 24 hours a day. Currently, we only have, you guys are really kind of the first group that we're opening it up to out of my lists, and certainly people from the past. So we only have about 100 people. We're actually answering questions still by email, and we still take calls. The point of how we operate is to run like a mom and pop organization. And I'm happy about that. That's the kind of environment I want to work in. I've kind of warned everybody in the coaching group that I'm a little cranky these days because I'm building and creating new content. So what you're looking at is the hub. The first is our 12-step program. It used to be called Monster Marketing. It's also been called, what did he call it? It's been called a couple of things. It's been a part of a couple of other programs, right? But whatever the case, if you've been a part of anything with me or David Bartels or the Chapman brothers, which some of you on this call have, I consider you coached by me. So this is an upgrade from everything I've done in the past, and you guys actually get a special price, and you can see that price on the event link. And I think it's like 80% off. I'm going to go through these, we now call it the 12-step program. It used to be called Monster Marketing. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. The second is what I call our face-to-face approach, and I'm going to show that to you so you guys can replicate that on your own. We have coaching calls. We do 3 coaching calls per week. You get a private one-on-one when you're joining. You get 3 coaching calls. One on Tuesday with me, marketing, and I'm going to try to teach for the rest of the year a brand new marketing technique for the last quarter of the year. It's going to be really hard. I'm also going to try to roll out 3 brand new marketing approaches altogether. One of them is called Red. The other one I haven't really named yet, but I'm going to show you marketing pieces from it. We have an express buyer program. We want you guys to get the highest possible commissions possible. You just go on the page and you submit. It's pretty straightforward. We work with investors. Submit your deal to us, and I will tell you how you're going to make money on it if you want our assistance on it, right? And as long as nobody's getting hurt, Homeowners come first in my program. I'm going to make that clear. I want you guys to make 4% and 5% commissions. If you're an investor, I want you to make a maximized dollars as long as homeowners are taken care of and they're given a dignified solution. One of our newest modules is the Think Like Lee program, books, audio, everything I could throw in there. We've had a couple of our students recently that are going through surgeries and they wanted stuff to read. So I just started compiling audiobooks and videos and movies that I watch that inform me about what's going on. We have the complete archives. All of this, the next two are about to change. The video archive is probably going to remain exactly the same. The marketing archive will exchange. But right after the 12-step program, my students today wanted me to break down individual marketing pieces for first, second, and third appointments and make it a little more cut and dry for them instead of going through the archive pages and finding marketing pieces that they want. And they told me which pieces they want more of and what videos they wanted. So all of that is rolling out on Sunday. And that's why I'm planning on raising the price on Monday. And lastly, white label books. I have them. Some people like it. They want a position. They want to be able to download for people. So this is our basic program right now. We currently have 112 people. I still coach about 400 or 500 monster users around the world. I haven't heard from them in a while. Some of them are actively using their old products. That's great. I adopted, for those of you who know David Bartels, I adopted his programs. That's great. And I consider those all kind of part of my program. I would consider you an upgrade to get into the new program. And I'm going to show you exactly what that means. It's the 12-step Let's start with the card program. I'm going to show you this marketing approach. Anybody can do it, right? So I want to be able to talk to people on the street. I'm sure you guys get this all the time. Tomorrow I'm going to go to football with my daughter, right? And inevitably, if I'm being engaging on some level, I will have people ask me what it is that I do, right? Yeah, I walk around with a tie in the way you're looking at me. This is kind of like my daily wear. So that's one way. And that alone at an event will get me talked to. But when I'm out with my daughter, it still occurs, or I'm out, she's in color guard. And so I have to go to the football game and I have to meet parents and I go and help and I try. I feel for the single moms of the world. I mean, as a single dad, it's just, it makes me mental. So the reason I tell you that, I often get asked, what is it that I do? I'm going to teach you that process. Even if you invest in my program, I'm going to teach you this next 3 steps. I wrote this exclusively for my students. We change the marketing message each month because I think it needs to be fresh. So the current one that we're working on is, Melissa, you can ask me, Lee, what do you do for a living? Okay, just play along with it in your own head and I'm going to help you out. I fix broken real estate. This is what I answer to people. I fix broken real estate. And that will lead to the next question. What does that mean? I work with people who've missed payments. This is a template, part of our template that we have for our students. You can either go through our Home Advocates website. You can use our 800 number, or you can put your information. You can do whatever you want. Right now, I'm going to show you something mind-blowing that no other program can do for you. I don't care what designation it is. Nobody is about to do what I'm about to do, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy, and I want you all to follow along, especially you, Melissa. I want everybody to open up a browser. I hand over the front of this card. It is a testimonial from somebody I've worked with, right? And I believe that about all of my Home Advocates. So we have her testimonial generic. I just took my name off of it. The back, this is left blank, so you can have it printed. And I found somebody that'll print for really inexpensive. The second thing I do is I tell people, I work with people with missed payments. I show them this card. I said, do you or someone you know, did they do a forbearance or did they miss? Are they having difficulty making payments? Yes or no, it doesn't matter. I make sure to write my cell phone number on the front and make it personalized. Now, this is the next thing I do. This is how you build instant credibility. And this is why most of you don't have a good website and why you spent thousands of dollars on websites. And you're going to hate me for what I did next. I always tell people, and I'm going to tell everybody on this call, I want you to open up a browser. Everybody's got a phone that has a browser. Open up your browser. go to Google, or you can just type in the address line at the top. I want you to type in home advocates. Okay, this is total persuasion. It's got me leads 4 days. It's got me students. It's the #1 reason people sign up with me. Go to Google, type in home advocates. We are line 1, page 1. This is still in real time, right? I will show this to you in real time right now. So when you go to Google and you type in home advocates, we're page 1. Yes, I realize my links are there. And that's why on there I use a private browser, but we've been line 1. We're above county and city and other programs. Our Facebook page is above everybody else, and we're above other organizations. But I want to show you the most mind-blowing part for people who sign up and join our program to build credibility automatically. You're using my credibility. I've never seen another program that's done this, not a single coach. When you click on that link, wrong one, line 1, sorry, distressed property. That's actually our coaching page. Line 1, you scroll down, all of our students are listed right on the front page. Right on the front page with their email. That person can go and call our 800 number, and we will forward you the call if they're looking for you. I don't know anybody else who does that, but all of our people are listed right here. It looks like it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. And that's automatic persuasion. That's how you build automatic credibility with people. It's, you know, it's not really kind of as hard as it looks on paper. What the heck? How many of these are open? This one. There we go. All right. Next on the hub is our 12-step program. This is the thing that got me kind of known for. I'm going to show you the 12 steps and I'm going to explain them along the way. I created the first indirect direct marketing approach where homeowners feel like they invite you over for a conversation. I went into the business of delivering advocates to people who miss payments, and I make homeowners feel like they did it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, Terry, Melissa, who've never heard me before? I'm trying out this explanation every single way I can do it. I'm the Amazon of advocates. Does that work? All right. All right, good. Thanks, Melissa. So I'm going to show you exactly how this would be. You get an explanation video and you get a one-on-one that explain it in greater detail. And I'm only going to spend 2 minutes. I'm just going to read these off because it's that simple, because I want to get to the scripts and I've only got 6 minutes left. So you click here and you send us, the first 2 are about sending us emails, tell us the city, we send you leads, right? You order these Avery labels that are repealable from Amazon. That's what you're going to print the marketing piece on. Then you download what we call our marketing piece, right? It's got a pre-printed call center number on it. Those are delivery labels. Does it now make sense more, Melissa? You're going to write the last name of the homeowner and a tracking number, usually the APN. You can use a property radar or whatever. We send you leads. They've got tracking numbers on. You put your initials and a tracking number and their last name, right? Simple. You pick out 12 properties. You go to Root Excel. I haven't found anything better in 11 years. Root Excel is the easiest way to go and it's free. And then you put them in order. You write them all up. You prepare your marketing pieces. You handwrite them out. You give you a real step-by-step. You follow your Root Excel. You drive to the property. You're not going to knock on the door. You're not going to meet the homeowner. You're going to put this delivery label on the outside of the mailbox, the front door, or the garage door. Now, does anybody want to know how many calls you're actually going to get on 12 in the current market? I know this for a fact. I don't want you putting up 100. I know what normal marketing is. You're only going to do 12 on Monday and 12 on Wednesday. Automatically, when they call that 800 number, they're going to schedule them on a Tuesday or a Thursday after 3 o'clock. If you want it on a different day, then you need to buy your own call center. But I bought the call center for you already. As simple as I can make it. Got it? Go home. Wait. If you don't get a call at the end of the week, if you don't get an email from me directly with a lead, and I'll show you what they look like in just a moment, then you need to let me know that you put up, 24 labels, right? 2 sets of 12, and nobody contacted you. Okay. I did 12 in Carlsbad 3 weeks ago. I actually only got 9 up because I had Either I knew that there was an investor, or I knew it was vacant, or I had seen the property before. I got 3 appointments. Got it? 3 calls to the call center. Of the 3 calls to the call center and the leads that were sent over to me, 2 invited me over for conversation. So if any of you have a better approach for investing 1 hour of marketing time, because that's what it takes to put up 12 and drive around and put them up, okay? To get 2 appointments, I would love for you to tell me so that I can go and steal that and use it for distressed properties. I've been doing it for 11 years. All my marketing pieces are with the state, all of the states. I'm a continuing education teacher. The 800 number actually explains that you're an advocate. You're going to come over and talk to them about their alternatives to foreclosure. And then you go on to step 12 and you click and download the first meeting package. And I'm going to show you what that looks like in just a minute. What you're looking at on the screen are leads. That's what they look like. They come to my email box. I review them. See these first 3 letters? That's the initial of the agent. And then I forward it on to them. Wow. That last person's email, the homeowner. Can I rewind? Was that sexy red 151? It's already interesting to me. 909. They're on, yeah, whatever. 702. They're all over the place, right? And then you go on your appointment. It's as simple as that. We are seeing I don't, again, Terry, to go back to your point, I don't know if from first meeting to listing, you guys are averaging less than 3 to 6 weeks when you meet a brand new client for getting a listing. If you get a lead at all, not a referral, by the way, I mean a cold start lead. Everybody know the difference? A referral's a referral. A referral's a referral. That's about as clean as it gets, and you got to pay for those, right? And I do give those out when they come through the website for people. We get people to contact us directly, and we give those to our agents. Those are referrals, and we want referral fees for them. Make sense? Everybody good? Everybody understand? And that's how it works. That is our core system. I'm going to show you something from our lab that I just got back on Fiverr today. Everybody understand roughly how this system works? What if you could walk around? You ready for this one, Melissa? You ready, Terry? This is a good one. What if you could walk around and you had like a handout card? Or what if you could do it by postcard? What if I took all of what's best about this market with today's marketing messages and turned it into an actual postcard? And say you turned it over to your title company who sends out all those free postcards for you, except they're sending them to distressed properties. And that 800 number goes to the same 800 number that is out there, right? And your advocate name is on the back. It's got a tracking number on the back. This kind of looks like, forgive me if I'm wrong, this looks like automated appointments. If you have a title or a mortgage company that does free postcards for you, would I be wrong in my assessment if they're just cranking out postcards for you and they go to a call center and you're just getting an appointment sent to you by email? We just developed this. We just put this together. And the reason I'm doing it, because I'm kind of anti-mail because of its results. Nobody's doing any mail marketing right now because the market is so bad. It's not a clutter in the mailbox. I'm actually kind of excited, and we've actually run a couple of initial tests. So we have a few students, and maybe some of you, because I know some of my students are on the call, I'll be asking you to, and I'm doing 2 other brand new marketing methods as well that I'm going to be adding to the hub. As I said, coaching is our bane. We do 3 of them. Thursday is our conversation. Here are the scripts before I send you guys out of here. Ready? This is my proof that you can all do it. Even you, Terry, if you don't know anything about distressed properties, and I don't know that. This is what you want to write down. And by the way, I'm doing a video, and you guys can watch the video when you're done and write them down because I know I talk fast. This is your encounter number 1. Hi, my name's Lee. Are you aware you are actively in foreclosure? You go on your appointment, you hand them a copy of their notice of default or a notice of sale. You can get it from your title company. Step 2. I'm a homeowner advocate, and I'm here to present you your alternatives to foreclosure. You will have a pre-printed, you saw it in the marketing pieces I gave you. It's the same one I have my students go out and use. You give them a copy, you keep a copy. You then read it to them, do nothing, pay off or refinance, reinstate. By the way, the explanations are on the page. Partial claim, deed in lieu of foreclosure, bankruptcy, loan modification, forbearance, or sell the house. Got it? And there are explanations on there in case they have questions. All you're after is, hey, I just have one question before I leave. What did the bank do to you? This is literally $1 million conversion technique that we've been teaching for, I don't know, 10 years. That came out of one of our masterminds 10 years ago by one of our, one of our more qualified door-to-door people. This allows the homeowner to tell you how they're quote unquote getting screwed over by the system. And trust me, it's a very common thing. This will get you a 30-minute conversation. When you get a 30-minute conversation on your very first appointment, you are building connection. You're not there to close them. You're not there to ask for a listing. Hey, can I bring you some more information? It seems like you're leaning more towards a forbearance or a loan modification, right? Whatever it is, bankruptcy, etc. We have stuff to give them for every single topic. Just say yes, set up a second appointment. And then on your next appointment, you're going to go engage and deliver the information that they requested on the scheduled date. And then you're going to ask the big question. Have you thought about it? Have you decided what you want to do? If it's anything other than selling the property, you're going to read the following line. And again, it's another $1 million decision maker. I understand, and I hope that works out for you. I just have one question before I leave. What's your plan B? Would you like to know what the number one plan B for everybody is if they don't win the lottery or pay out, get a loan mod or whatever it is that they think of, right? And by the way, there are no loan mods in this market. No, it's not sell the house, Terry. It's I'm going to do nothing and the bank can take it from me. At that point, here's the conversion. Do you know you have equity in this house? You guys all know this. Now it's a regular sale, right, Terry? You just show them how much they're going to make. This is the value of your house. This is the equity that's involved. I didn't bring anything to write you up here today. I think I need you to think about it, right? We're building credibility. You can't be a hungry, horny, I'm here for a listing person. You're an advocate. I'm not here with my real estate agent hat on. I'm here as your advocate. I think you guys can all do it. And they will sell. They are all selling right now for some remarkable reason. I have no indicator on why people at this moment are selling. My guess is the equity is so high, they're taking advantage of it while they can. And that's it. You just keep following it up. Also, so we have that program. We have that program. We're going to add a brand new catalog. As I said, everybody's listed on the front page. Our coaching calls are all archived. We have an iBuyer program. You guys get maximized commission. We try to give you both ends of the deal. I think to use the program, it's like 1% on our end. The investor program, if you get an investment property and you want me to teach you how to do assumptions or any of this, you are getting a copy of this, Victor, as well. All of it's archived. All of these videos are here as well. The white label books, I'm actually adding 3 more modules this weekend by request of my students. So I'm doubling the program. I'm adding 2 full marketing techniques. As I showed you before, the automated postcard routine. Once I can find a mortgage company, probably a national provider that would be willing to crank those things out. It's on each person to find somebody to send out the postcards in their individual markets, but it's not that hard a thing right now, or pay for it yourself, for God's sakes. We are actually testing it with our students right now. So for those of you that are interested right now, we are at our pre-pandemic or our pre-moratorium prices. It's on that link that I gave you on that page. I'll put the link up again. For those of you who've never done anything with me, you get 66% off. If you've been in Short Sale Genius, if you were in HMS with David Bartels and indirectly me, or you are a monster student, you get 80% off, okay? As I told you before, this isn't like a BS thing. We've already swapped out our prices on our actual website. If you go to our coaching page and you wanted to get more information and click Get Started, it's going to take you to a link for $5,000. I mean, it's just that simple, right? On the event page, for those of you first timers, it's $19.97. It's guaranteed. I'm going to show you the guarantee. It's a one-time payment. I'm not taking a piece of your deal. That's not how we operate. If we use the iBuyer program or I help you with an investment, we take 1% of the transaction. If we refer a deal to you, yes, we take another 1% or 2% for the referral when we do that. But I'm not taking a monthly fee. I'm not taking a piece of every deal, because I am giving you leads. I am giving you marketing. I am maintaining it, and I am creating more marketing on a daily basis. If you are a previous student, click on this link. You're getting 80% off. It's a one-time upgrade fee of $9.97. You've worked with me before. You guys know how it works. It'll keep going for as long as this program's going. I pretty much told everybody in my coaching group today, this is sort of my swan song. Okay. So then all that's left, and I'll go back and I'll answer your question in a second, Maria. God, it doesn't go backwards. That's really irritating. Okay. So how do you join? You click on one of the links. There's no monthly fee. You upgrade if you're a current, like a previous person who's worked with me. And that includes Short Sale Genius. It's really nice of me, since it wasn't my company, but I'm going to consider you one of those people. I'll tell you what, if you saw me live 2007 to 2010 at any of those events, I'm willing to be okay with that. I do have those lists. I will check it. And I will ask you where it was. And yes, I've got it all archived and I have all the lists. All right. Home Advocates lifetime guarantee, right? If you do not get face-to-face, and depending on COVID, Zoom to Zoom or whatever it is, we'll refund 100% of your investment. I have a meeting